This is Forensic Anthropology. I am Christian Norniella Burke.
I am Jenn Forcillo.
I'm DeBenedette.
And I'm Tyre, and I'm here to talk about forensic anthropology. So what is anthropology? Anthropology is the scientific study of humans and human behavior and societies in the past and present. Anthropologists are concerned with determining what humans are, how they evolved, and how they differ from one another. There are many areas of anthropological study, including social anthropology, cultural, biological, and linguistic anthropology. What is forensic anthropology? Forensic anthropologists understand the various properties and forms of skeletal remains and apply this knowledge to assist investigators. They do this by collecting and examining skeletal remains, determining demographic details of a potential victim, assessing remains for trauma, determining potential time and cause of death based on those remains, relocating human remains when necessary, providing expert testimony in court, and writing and presenting reports of law enforcement to prosecutors. So how is forensic anthropology different from regular anthropology? As we said before, anthropology is the study of human beings and their ancestors throughout time and space in relationship to physical, character, environmental, and social relations. This is often used to gain a better understanding of human differences and learning how people's perspectives, beliefs, and practices fit into a wider social, political, and economic context. Research can be applied in a variety of fields and work to better understand humans and their tendencies. Forensic anthropology, on the other hand, focuses specifically on the remains at a crime scene. This includes examining human remains found at the crime scene to determine the events of the crime. It's also used to write informative reports and to present within a court of law. It's much more specific and applicable to crime scene analysis than overall anthropology.
So, the three periods of forensic anthropology. So, early 1800s to 1938, that's the formative period. Forensic anthropology's origins in the United States can be traced to the Parkman murder of 1849. And so, the Parkman murder in 1849, there was two autonomists first demonstrated the effectiveness of methods regularly used in forensic anthro today. So, two professors of autonomy at Harvard in 1849 were asked to investigate a mysterious death. A dismembered body was found in the anatomy lab and septic tank, as well as burnt head in the furnace. So the professors got the help with the help of their anatomy colleagues, assembled the body and determined that it was a 5 foot 10 inch and a half male who was between 50 and 60 years old. They used this information to compare with what was known of Dr. George Parkman's prominent physician. The dentures that were found in the furnace matched the mold of Parkman's mouth made by his dentist, and through the work, the scientists were able to identify the deceased, and which was helpful in convicting John W. Webster, who was a Harvard University chemistry professor at the time. He apparently had borrowed money from Parkman, but did not want to repay his debt, so he turned to murder. Next period we have is 1939 to 1971, the consolidation period, and then finally we have 1972 to the present, which is the modern period of forensic anthropology. So Thomas Dwight, born in 1843, he's kind of known as the father of forensic anthropology. Dwight was the first to study forensic anthropology as an academic study and wrote articles and gave lectures on skeletal identification, the original designation of forensic anthropology, as we saw in the story of Parkman. The research methods for determining age, height, sex, and using characteristics of joints and bones to determine age at death. Dwight was also able to determine sex by the development of the long bones. Today, forensic anthropologists use Dwight's methods, but also have expanded to use complex methods of search and recovery of remains, assessing remains, and determining post-mortem injury.
So since Thomas Dwight started the practice of forensic anthropology, there's a lot more formalized steps to it. So once a forensic anthropologist arrives at a scene, the first step is to process that scene. This includes identifying the scattered remains to determine if they are in fact human remains and the completeness of those remains. This helps to determine